Peace and Yah bless. Yah is a strong one. The strong one is Yah. He is the tree of life. He is the fountain of living waters. He is the spirit and creator of all things that live and breathe. On this particular discourse, I'm going to talk about the paradigm shift of the Hebrew Israelites. Once again, the paradigm shift of the Hebrew Israelites. Okay. For those who know me, you know I've been listening to a lot of discourse about paradigm. And in listening to that discourse, you learn a great many things about what's being said and who's saying it. I mean, the paradigm for the other nations is one that is very different from what they call the Black American. The Black American has a different plight, different conditions, and a different paradigm from any other people on this earth. Now, why is our paradigm so different? Because our forefathers, our ancestors, broke the covenant made at Sinai. And the minute that covenant was broken, our paradigm changed. It shifted. Okay? All right? From that moment. And Yah has never forgotten what happened with our forefathers, even all the way up to this day. That's why Yah tells us specifically in this book, because of our sin, because we sinned against the Holy One of Israel, is why he sentenced us to these 400 long years in another foreign land. America is not our land. The American flag is not our flag. Africa is not our land. The African nations and the African flags are not our flags. Okay? Our plight and their plight is two different things. Okay? The Africans themselves were the very ones who helped round us up for our enemies to take us off those West African coast and take us, as the book predicted in Deuteronomy 28, and all over the book, really, the book of remembrance, and took us all to the four corners of the earth, into Europe in the 1400s first, for all those who know history. Then they began taking us, what they call the triangular transatlantic slave trade. Then they took us down into Brazil. Then they took us into the West Indies, into Jamaica and Bahamas and, all of those islands, okay? All right? Then in 1619, that's when the 400 years began, because that's what the Most High, that's when he actually began the countdown when we came to North America. That's why in Jeremiah 23, it says he's going to take us from the North Country. Okay? So that's when the countdown began. Okay? All right? There is no exact timeline other than what the Most High has given us. Okay? Because some people confuse that 400 years with the 430 over it. That's in the book of Exodus, right? The 430 years that we spent in the very first Egyptian captivity. All right? But when you see Genesis 15, that 400 years, that's talking about right when we landed in Jamestown, okay? Over here in North America on these shores, 1619, August the 21st, right? That's when the countdown actually began. All right? It ended last year, or probably at the very end of last year. Now, once again, we qualify for redemption by Yah. And now you guys can see that redemption in action, because you see they shut the whole world down. Okay, they shut the whole entire world down. Why? Because they were like, they're basically trying to challenge God. These so-called power elites shut the whole world down, man. All right, there's more to it than COVID-19. I'm not going to get into that. That's not the crux of what I'm trying to get you guys to understand about the paradigm of the Black American, the Hebrew Israelite. Okay, our paradigm is different from any other people, man. Okay, now about paradigm. When you're dealing with paradigm, everybody has one. Everybody has those habits and things that they do each day, and the philosophies that make up, the their paradigm for whatever it may be. Now, and you can always change your paradigm, but know and understand one thing: there are rules to your paradigm, regards to what people say. Right here in Proverbs 16, verse number 9. A man's heart deviseth his way, but Yah directeth his steps. You see that? In other words, God is always in control of you. Okay? He's always in control. Be it for good or be it for evil, God is always in control. Because see, you can devise in your heart whatever you want to devise, whatever you want to do with your life. But the Most High is going to still cause you to go in the direction that He wants you to go. That's why He's God. That's why He's Almighty. Okay? When I wrote that song, Almighty Creator Father Yah, that's what that means. He's Almighty. What part of Almighty do you people not understand? All means all. It don't mean a part of. It means all. It encompasses all. It doesn't mean a part of. Okay? He's Almighty, meaning what? He directed every person's life on this earth. He knows when you're going to be born. He knows when you're going to leave here. He knows what you're going to do while you are here. Now, He gives you a matter of choice. But He's still going to do what? Direct your steps in the way that He wants you to go. Because I had a great many things that I wanted to do with my life, but the Most High didn't direct me in those to end up in those places. Okay? And I spent, sometimes tons of money on different things that I was trying to do. Okay? I'm going to get into that. But now I can see clear why, those things that I wanted didn't happen. Because the Most High said, man, had it happened, there's no telling where you'd be right now, man. Told me that. Okay? Now let's move over to Proverbs chapter 19, verse number 21. Listen, let's read it 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in the latter end. Listen very closely. There are many devices in a man's heart. Okay? In other words, there's all kinds of things he might want to do. It could be girls, it could be finances, it could be property, it could be all kinds of things we want to do. Many devices in our heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of Yah, that shall stand. Did you hear that? Now listen one more time. The counsel of Yah, okay, the counsel of God is going to stand no matter what you want to do, man. The Most High is not interested in that, man. He said His counsel is going to stand. He don't care about what's in your heart. Okay? All right? Remember that. His counsel stands, not ours. Okay? So your paradigm can only change based on whatever Yah has set forth in your life to take place in the events that will take place in your life. No matter how hard you try to change your paradigm. Okay? Because I'm sure the black man we wanted to change our paradigm ever since we probably went into slavery. We wanted to come out immediately, didn't we? But did we? Or did the Most High's counsel stand? We were here 400 years. Okay? Not to mention all the other captivities we were in. Okay? All right? Now remember that. 400 years. Sentence served. That's big. Okay? Now, let's talk about paradigm for a minute. Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 24. Listen up very, very closely. Okay? Listen. Even all nations shall say, wherefore hath Yah done thus unto this land, when he threw us out. Okay? What meaneth the heat of this great anger? Because Yah was angry with the Hebrew Israelites and removed us from the land of Israel. Okay? That is what? A paradigm shift. Okay, listen. Then men shall say, because they, the children of Israel, right? Black Americans, right? Palestinians, right? They have forsaken the covenant of Yah, the God of their fathers, which He made with them when He brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, right? For they went and served other gods, those idols, right? And worshiped them, gods whom they knew not, and whom we had not given unto them. Okay? All right? See, we've always had this problem with idolatry, Black America. That's why y'all let all these things happen to our people. That's why you running around America talking about Black Lives Matter. You running around in your oppressor's land talking about your life matters. You basically begging your oppressor not to kill you. That's what you basically doing. When you got to go to them and put in front of all the world that Black Lives Matter. Okay? You don't see the Palestinians do that, do you? The Palestinians, they fight. Okay? They fight with the sling stones. They fight with anything they can fight with for their lives. Now, sometimes they lose their lives, but they still fight for it. They don't come out with no movements and all that and basketball courts. Feeling sorry for ourselves. You shouldn't feel sorry for yourselves. You broke the covenant of God, the Lord God of your fathers, man. What are you feeling sorry for yourself for? He allowed these things to happen. Deuteronomy chapter 28, go read the whole entire chapter. Okay? He allowed these things to happen to our people. That is our paradigm. Okay? And Yah was not going to allow us to change that paradigm until he's ready to change that paradigm. Okay? Because we used to be what? Landowners. We owned animals. We owned vineyards, olive trees, all kind of manner of fruits in the land of Israel. Okay? But we had a paradigm shift. When we did what? When we forsake that covenant of Sinai. Our ancestors. And we're still doing those same things today. We're doing what? Worshiping and going after them other gods like Jesus and Muhammad and Krishna and Vishnu and Milgam and Buddha and anything else we can possibly think of. Okay? So paradigm is going to be based on whether Yah will allow you to get out of that paradigm. Because remember, it don't matter what you put in your heart. Whatever he wants to happen in your life, that's what's going to stand. Whatever pattern he wants, or whatever he wants you to go down, that's what's going to happen. That's why it says over here in this same exact book, the Most High says what? A person can try to do what they want to do, but they're not going to deliver themselves out of his hand. Because he kills and makes alive. The God of Israel, whose name is Yah. Okay? All right? That's why he says that. You cannot deliver yourself out of the hands of Yah. And that's what, so-called Zionists are trying to do now. They think they can deliver themselves out of the hands of Yah by trying to make peace deals with them, with their bitter enemy, Islam, the Muslims, man. Who are also their Hebrew brothers, by the way, right? But that doesn't matter. They've been enemies ever since going back to the Mamluks, right? And the Caliphates, for all those who know that history, right? Okay? Going all the way to the Ottoman Empire, World War I. Okay? And on up to this very day. All the wars with Palestinians, right? The 1967 war, the Six-Day War, right? Okay? They ain't all of a sudden now going to make peace, with the Israelis. Okay? Because like Ahmadinejad said from Iran, he said, man, the Hebrews are black, man. He said that. Okay? He knew that. He said that publicly in front of Iran. And most of these people know that. And every African knows. All Africans. But Africans, they just sign it. They like, look, if you ask us, we'll tell you, but we're not going to tell you. Okay? Go ask them sometimes. Okay? They know we're not the same people, man. We don't belong in Africa. That's their heritage and that's their land. Okay? But back to paradigm, all right? This has been our paradigm right here. 400 long years, man. Predicted to the letter. In Genesis chapter 15. Okay? That's been our paradigm. But the world is undergoing a paradigm shift as we speak. Okay? Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 68. Okay? And Yah shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Okay? He's talking back into captivity, right? With ships that you can go look up on the internet anytime you want through those cargo slave ships. Okay? Okay? By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it. Talking about the land of Israel. We're not going to see it no more again because we were carted off to the four corners of the earth and including North America, right? And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Okay? Simple as that. That was our paradigm shift at that point. When we were sold as bondmen and bondwomen. Okay? taken off that West African coast and taken over here to North America. That was our paradigm shift. And we've not been able to recover from that paradigm shift, even basically all the way up to this very day, here in August 2020. August 20th, right? 2020, right? 320s, right? So that's that. Okay? Now, paradigm shift time. Okay? The paradigm shift is here in this year of 2020. Okay? Because they don't want to see us go home. But we're going to go home. Okay? Now let's deal with paradigm a little bit more. All right? What has been the condition of the so-called Black American? Okay? Basically, our paradigm and the paradigm of the other people, our oppressor, is always separated and different. Okay? Ever since that 1619, when we spread to the four corners of the earth. All right? Because the only equality for the Black American has been an illusion. I'll say that one more time. The only equality for the Black American has been an illusion. Okay? And only those blacks who are under extreme control, right? And those who help foster white supremacy, right, through many facets and spectrums are sometimes, I repeat, sometimes treated equal to our oppressors. Now you better rewind that, okay? Only those blacks who are under extreme control, right, and help foster white supremacy through many facets and spectrums are sometimes treated equal to our oppressor. Sometimes, right? I'm talking about your higher ups, okay? You know who I'm talking about. I ain't got to tell you, okay? But they have inequality all over the place, you know, for Black Americans, as you can see, in many things, in many places, okay? All right? Like what they do with neighborhoods, you know what I mean? They have some parts of different cities they don't even like blacks to even move to. So they'll set up homeowner associations, or what they call HOA. They'll set that up and they'll charge, you know, a fee on top of the, you know, the mortgage or on top of the rent, you know what I mean? So they what? So it'll discourage certain buyers and certain kinds and certain levels of income not to come into that neighborhood. Okay, unless you're making X amount of money. Man, if that ain't discrimination, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? Okay? The country clubs and all of y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay? But the whole world is going through a paradigm shift now. Things are evening out. Now these other nations are experiencing the same things that we experience and have been experiencing since we've been over here, man. And physical slavery, right? Which they say ended in 1865, but it didn't, right? Or maybe the balls and chains, right? But we're still basically in that captivity until Yah removes us permanently from North America and from the four corners of the earth. Okay? All right? So what's the pinnacle of the paradigm shift that the world is going through? Number one, Black Americans are waking up to their identity, that they're Hebrew Israelites. That we are waking up to our identity, right? We're finding out who the true God is, YHWH. Okay? And we're finding out that we have an actual homeland called Israel, what they call the state of Israel today. And including our brothers who are the Palestinians. That's why those Arab nations stabbed the Palestinians in the back. Why? Because they know now. They've been knowing the Palestinians are not Arabs. They've known it for a long time. They know who the Palestinians are. That's why the land is called what? Palestine. Palestine ain't got nothing to do with Ishmael, okay? Or Islam. Or Muslims. They ain't got nothing to do with that. They know that, man. All right? That's why now they don't want to help them. They done basically threw the Palestinians to the wolves, man. Okay? All right? But it doesn't matter because the whole entire world is going through a paradigm shift. Okay? A lot of people's paradigms are different. And it's only going to get worse in that paradigm shift, okay? Because we're being shifted back to the top of it. I'm talking about Black people in general. Okay? You read that in Isaiah, man. Right? We read that in Isaiah. What does Isaiah say, man? when we get back to the land, our oppressors, man, we're going to rule over them. Is that not a paradigm shift? I mean, that's a super duper paradigm shift because right now they're ruling over us. Right? Right? Let's go to Isaiah 14. Let's see what it says. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel, set them in their own land. And strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them, right, and bring them to their place, right? And the house of Israel shall possess them. You hear that? We're going to possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. You hear that? We're going to rule over our oppressors, right? And it shall come to pass in that day that Yah shall give us rest from our sorrows and from our fears and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. Okay? That is our paradigm shift. And it will not shift until this happens. Till Yah delivers us from this captivity, it will not shift. And those strangers, they're going to cleave unto us, okay? All right. Now, there are different individuals, who are coming out now, like I said, they're trying to use their, their star appeal to, to kind of sort of shift the paradigm. But, what has to be understood, okay, is that Yah has to change the paradigm. We can't change it ourselves because he's the one who put us in this captivity. Okay? So we have to, that's why he says, wait on Yah. You can read that throughout this book. Yah says it so many times for us to wait on him. At the judgment of Esau, then our paradigm will change. And we'll go back to what? Landowners. Okay? We ain't gonna be slaves no more. We're gonna have people working for us. See, the Most High is gonna change our paradigm, and he's going to change their paradigm. All those who cleave onto the house of Jacob, your paradigm is going to change. You're not going to be the boss no more. Okay, we going to be the boss. All right. Simple as that. This is what's going to change our paradigm right here. We go home and I partition the land just like this. It's my job to partition the land just like this. That's going to be our paradigm, okay? That's our change, okay? It ain't about no president. It ain't about Joe Biden, okay? It ain't about Donald Trump either, really, okay? It ain't about Kamala Harris or anybody else or Pence. It's about Yah, man. Him changing our paradigm. That's the most important thing that happens, okay? And that will happen on this earth 2020, okay? We're waiting on Yah, okay? To do what? His strange act, as he said he would do. Okay? And we're waiting on that to happen. And it's going to happen. Okay? We're also going to do what? We're going to build that temple, as we told you, upon Mount Moriah. That's a paradigm shift. There hadn't been a temple of Yah on this earth since the temple of Zerubbabel, right? The second temple. There hasn't been any temple in Jerusalem since that time. That what Yah was being worshipped in. I ain't talking about the temple of Herod. I don't know what that was. The temple of Herod was basically an extension of the second temple. He just went in and enlarged it and made it bigger for all those, who understand what I'm talking about, the temple of Herod. Okay? So that's our paradigm shift. And the biggest of the paradigm shift, right there, a black man being set back at the top of the world. Okay? Because see that's the paradigm shift they don't want. Okay. And don't worry, and many blacks too. But those blacks who don't want to see a black man go back to the top of the world, talking about the right, correct one, right? All right, the crown of King David. Notice they don't say that about no woman. Okay. Now, right here you read about it in Psalm 72 about this paradigm shift, right? That a black man, he shall have dominion also from sea to sea and from the river unto the ends of the earth, okay? That's going to be a stretch, okay, of what I'm going to do, okay? And they that dwell in the wilderness shall bow before him, right? And his enemies shall lick the dust. When the Most High say, all these great kings and queens too, yea, all kings, right? All queens shall fall down before him, and all nations shall serve him. Okay? Now he will have this affinity, with the poor. He's going to be really, really about the poor because he's been there. All right? But Yah's going to deliver him out of that, okay? You read that over there in Isaiah 53, right? Okay? For he shall deliver the needy when he shall deliver the needy when he crieth. The poor also, okay? And him that have no helper. He shall spare the poor and the needy, and shall save the souls of the needy. He shall redeem their soul from deceit and violence, and precious shall their blood be in his sight. He shall live, right? And to him shall be given what? The gold of Sheba. And prayer also shall be made for him continually, right? And daily he shall be praised. Given, not praise like God praise, but he gonna be praised, because he's what? He's the David the King, man. Okay, that's the paradigm shift. Now that's my paradigm shift. Because as many people are like, well, man, you should make a different decision than what you're making. No, remember, the book has to come about the same way exactly the Most High wants it to be, come about. I can't change the paradigm. I can only pray to Yah to speed the change of my paradigm. Because I could do 100,000 different things. Okay? But what the Most High say, no matter what I put in my heart, only what he wants to happen is going to happen. That you read in Proverbs 16, right? I just read to you, only what he wants to happen is going to happen. Okay? But they don't want to see this paradigm change right here. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, thy king cometh unto thee. He is just and having salvation. Having salvation means what? Yah has saved him from death, right? And he saved me so many times I can't even count, right? Lowly means humble. He's humble, right? And riding upon an ass and upon the colt, the foal of an ass, a donkey, right? Okay? And I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim and the horse from Jerusalem. I'm going to cut them cars out of there, right? And the battle bow shall be cut off. And he shall speak peace. That's what I'm going to do when I get back to the house. I'm going to speak peace to the heathen. Okay? And his dominion, the David the King, shall be from sea even to sea. Like you saw over there in Psalm 72. It's going to be from sea even to sea. And from the river even to the ends of the earth. Now that is a paradigm shift. And that's what's going on with your COVID-19 and all this going back and forth and all this crazy things happening, man. Okay, that's the paradigm shift, okay? Because the elite don't want to see that paradigm shift, but they know they have to do it. Because it's in the book. He got to make peace, man. And we told the top of the triangle, man, a lot of times we got to make peace with the Holy One of Israel, man, and do this thing exactly as he asked you to do it. It can't be what comes out of their own heart. Oh, we want to get a girl, and no, man, ain't this don't book. The covenant is with David and with his descendants, his sons, and my sons after me. Okay? That's who the covenant is with. It ain't with nobody else, all right? So in Isaiah 27, that's why it talks about that, man. Okay? It's very important that they listen to what I'm saying when it comes to that. We can only petition them, and they can, then after that we let Yah take over. That's what it tells you right here. That, it starts off talking about how he's going to defeat the Leviathan, right? All right, we know who the Leviathan is, okay? That's the Zionists in the land, right? Then he gets down to the elite and he tells them, hey, man, let him take hold of my strength, okay, top of the triangle, right? That he may make peace with me. That's a paradigm change for them. They got to make peace with the Holy One of Israel. And Most High said, and he shall, okay, top of the triangle, you gon' make peace with the Most High. He not asking. He said he gon' do it, okay? Then what's his next job to do for the top of the triangle? He, the top of the triangle, right, shall cause them that come of Jacob, right, black Americans who called on Yah, the name of Yah. He's going to do what? He's going to cause us to take root in Israel, okay? And we're going to blossom and bud and fill the face of the world with fruit. I'm assuming that's talking about children, because we're going to get back there. We're going to have sex with our wives, and a whole bunch of it, okay? And a whole bunch of it. But anyway, so that's the paradigm shift that's going on this earth. That's why so much strife is going on, because they're trying to avoid, doing this thing, but there's no way for them not to do it. They have to do it because it's the glory of Yah, okay? It's the glory of Yah that's causing it to happen, okay? So they have to cause us to come back to the land of Israel. Now we ain't got to we ain't got to go through no African continent to get back. not the Jerusalem movement. All because remember, we've already pleaded with Yah over here in the land of our captivity. We ain't got to go plead here and then plead somewhere else too. Okay? All right? So when we leave here, we're headed straight to Jerusalem, straight to Ben Gurion Airport. Okay? Now, if it's anywhere off of that, then that's not it. Okay? So that's where this Jerusalem movement is headed to. All right? All right. So waiting for the Most High to do what? Raise himself up. As it says right here in the 33rd chapter of Isaiah. Now will I rise, saith the Lord, right? Yah. Now will I be exalted. Now will I lift myself up before all of these people on the earth. When he judges the mount of Esau and runs them right up out of Israel, the Zionist regime. Yes, that's right. Okay? Obadiah, also Isaiah 63, also Jeremiah 49. It said they're going to suddenly run away from Israel. Okay? So very important things, man. The coronation of Joshua the high priest. Now, Joshua the high priest and the seed of David are the same person. Okay? They're the same person. What it is Joshua the high priest. Joshua the high priest is what his character is all about. Okay? All right? That's all that means. Okay? Still the seed of David. Still the same person. But these are all paradigm shifts that have to happen. Okay? And we ain't got to do everything perfect to make it happen. We ain't got to do everything the elite won't necessarily make it happen. It's Yah, the Holy One of Israel, is making this all happen. Because it's actually his program and not our program. Okay? Then it tells you in Isaiah what? That the kings and the queens are going to help foster this and facilitate this entire thing happening. Okay? All right? Because they're going to be like what? Like foster parents to us. I'm talking about those who serve in Yah, not every single black person. I'm talking about those who are serving Yah truly with all their heart, soul, and might. Their paradigm is going to change. Some people's paradigms won't change no matter what. Okay? But they're going to be like foster parents to us, the elite. Okay? So we're going to have some great-grandfathers and some great-grandmothers, and they're going to have some great-grandchildren who are not Caucasian or who are not Edomites or Amalekites. Okay, some of them they will have some Israelite grown-up great-grandchildren. So that's what they're supposed to do. That's the job of the elite. Okay? All right. So that's what I think about paradigm. Okay? When we talk about paradigm. Okay? And paradigm shifts. Okay? And how it happens. Getting back to being landowners again. That's a paradigm shift. Getting back into what, raising animals and understanding, what to do about these things. Sheep and goats and cows and so on and so forth. Okay? Owning land. Okay? That's a paradigm shift. All right? And mighty is it. All right? So we can't wait to get back home. All right? Joshua the branch, the righteous king and Messiah. Okay? Seed of David, that's him. All right? All right? All right. Thank you all for listening. Peace. Y'all bless.